welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
We're on our way to Colorado.
We are gonna, so if those of you who are curious about how the GMC Savana van is gonna tow, we're gonna put it through its paces. It's gonna get some actual mountain passes this time, and we think this trip is gonna be around 3 weeks. We're gonna be spending a week helping a church in Colorado, and then we're just trying to escape some of the Texas heat and hang out in the mountains of Colorado and New Mexico for a little while. And the plans after the mission part are just kind of up in the air.
Real
fluid. And so we've got about a 8-hour day in front of us today. This is day one. That's why we sound so fresh. And we are heading up to Dumas to the Texoma Park there and spend the night, and then get to Longmont tomorrow. So we'll catch you up. Okay, just to catch you up, this is an instance when we are so thankful that we feel comfortable disperse camping and not having reservations.
Yes. We've driven a terribly long way, about 500.
We've driven over 500 miles today. But the reason we did that is, first of all, we got a little earlier start than we'd planned to. And when we got to Dumas, it was earlier than we wanted to stop.
Yes. Plus, tomorrow's another long day.
Tomorrow was actually going to be a little bit longer.
And I think we couldn't have stood it.
Well, and the other thing is, we are actually headed to the Boulder County Fairgrounds in Longmont, Colorado, because we're working with the church there, and our mission trip actually starts, we're supposed to get there Saturday evening. This is Tuesday. You're saying, wow, you're going to get there early. And we are, because Mylena checked, and this weekend there's a car show, a Ford Chevy show, and we're thinking that's going to be a very popular show. And it runs Friday through Sunday.
And the church we're working with wants us there
Saturday.
on Sunday.
Well, Saturday evening. And so we thought people would arrive Thursday for the car show. So we decided we needed to get there Wednesday so we could actually be sure that we're getting one of the first come sites. That's what they have. So being able to drive an hour and a half further today and taking that off of tomorrow, it's another, like I said, it's just a benefit of having some flexibility.
Yes.
But right now we are both really tired, and we're going to get some, I know it's light, you can see that outside.
We don't care.
We've stopped, we're here, we've actually already had supper. But we'll be able to get up early in the morning, feel fresher, and have a shorter day tomorrow. So we'll let you know when we get there. Okay, this is one of the reasons why you take kind of shakedown trips. Now, granted, not everybody would say a 3-week-long trip is a shakedown, but depending on how long your trips are going to be.
We did take the trip to Abilene.
And this morning, when I went to stop at a stop sign on a small road, I realized the trailer kind of was pushing, and I looked and our brake controller was not working at all. So when we got where we had service, we called the company who installed it. They told us to check fuses, gave us some suggestions, and if all else fails, to go to an auto supply store. And want to give a shout out. We are in Eads, I guess, Colorado, small town. And we saw NAPA, there was room for us to pull over, so we did. And I was trying to check what they told me to check, and the gentleman there said,
a customer.
I think he's a customer. And then the man that worked there, I said, how are you? And they said, fine. And they said, how are you? They asked me how I was, and I said, well, my brake controller's not working, but I've got lights, I've got everything else working, so, but I want to try and fix this. And so they came over and spent about 30 minutes. And something I had meant to check and didn't was a wiring harness under the steering wheel. Last thing they checked was unplugging it to see if it was getting power. And then when he plugged it back in, the brake controller was working. So the connection had just come loose a little bit. But they fixed it
It
for us.
doesn't make you feel terribly intelligent, but it's fixed. And we owe those people a big shout out.
We tried to buy them lunch, give them some money for
Yes.
lunch, and they said, "Oh no, this is just what we do." So,
Thanks to the man in the pickup who's helped, and for
the man that worked there, going and getting his tester and all this other stuff and checking everything. So now we know that everything under there is good. But, folks, this is part of the travel, and so we want to let you know that was a good 30 minutes we hadn't planned on spending, but,
aren't we glad we stayed further down the road than we planned?
Yeah, but travel is, there are unexpected things,
Yes.
and this is part of it. Okay, this is the end of our third full day on this trip, and
What a day it's been.
this has been kind of a maintenance, take care of things day. We'd hoped it would be a do nothing day, but
So much for that.
if you are new to RV travel or you're thinking about it, we want you to see, while we do a lot of amazing, awesome stuff, we've been so blessed. Today is one of those days.
It's a reality check.
This morning, our television, the RV is 6 years old. It's an 18 and this is 25, so
probably
it's 7 years old. And so anyway, we thought, okay, we carry DVDs with us. I know that's old, but that's what we have, and that's, we're not going to get service anywhere, so that's what we do. So we went to Walmart and bought a TV and a DVD player. They still had one, so we were thankful for that.
Yes.
Came back, got the new TV installed. And then last night, I had ridden the little clown bike over to see about some fishing, and got over, and went over last night, and the back tire went flat. I knew it had been losing some air, but it was flat, and that's when I realized I hadn't even carried a bottle of water with me. So walked it back, and so today I had brought a spare inner tubes, and so today was changing out the inner tube on it. I didn't film that process, but I will tell you the motor is in the back wheel, and it doesn't disconnect.
We don't know how it is on the newer
versions, but the one we have, that's what it was. But that took a little bit, and it was a little bit dirty, but we got her done, and that was awesome. Then after lunch, I did go over, and I was able to fish for a little bit, but came back, and our roof air conditioner stopped working. I had looked. It had not dripped water off of the RV, because I always like to see how close to level we are and which side or where it's dripping. And I had looked yesterday, I looked today, and I didn't see it dripping. And I thought, that's really strange. I know it's dry here, but it should be dripping. And so, thankfully, we'd planned to do some dispersed camping. We'd brought our little portable air conditioner with us. And so that was discouraging. But before we did anything, you take a little time and just kind of think it through, pray it through. And I told Mylena, my opinion is, and I know y'all are going to find this hard to believe since we're Texans, we really don't use that roof air conditioner that much anymore.
Rarely use it.
We do big trips in the shoulder seasons for the most part, or we went to Alaska last year and we used the heater. But we really don't use it that much. And I told her if we can get someone to come out here reasonably and see what they can do from the inside, because we got so much solar on the roof, I don't know what they can do on the roof.
And we don't want them messing with it. I know that sounds crabby, but we like our solar and we don't want it messed up.
Yeah, we're much more concerned about the solar than we are the air conditioner. But anyway, and so I said what I would rather do is run the heck out of the little portable unit and keep replacing it, because we can run it with a little generator, and as small as this camper is, you know, it's going to keep it real comfortable, and we can use it all the time, and it's easy to replace.
Yes.
And so we called, and we did have a guy willing to come out here. He did say he thought the problem was the freeze sensor had frozen and possibly was going out. So I'm getting ready to find out how much that is and how hard it is to replace it, because it was going to cost $150 for him to come here, and then $150 an hour. And I'm not saying that's extravagant.
No.
He's providing a service. I'm just saying that's $300 we didn't want to put into something that we aren't planning on using that much.
And that may be more extensive than a freeze sensor.
Well, but the other thing is, you know, the air conditioner is 7 years old.
Yes.
And so, this is not the way we had expected this day to go, but we are so thankful that we got here early, that we had this day to take care of these things.
And we did get some books downloaded.
And that was another thing,
Yes.
books that we had thought were supposed to be...
I was supposed to do them last thing on Monday night. I looked at them. I thought they were done, and they weren't. So we had no books.
So we sang to hits of the 70s and the 80s on the way up here.
You would have loved it.
Why do birds fall? Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? But anyway, maybe because it's Saturday in the park. But I digress. But anyway, folks, we're gonna this is just the first 3 days getting started, and we are at the Boulder County Fairgrounds again. We will tell you things have changed here.
The town has grown.
Oh man, everything from the highway over to Longmont is
Yes.
just crazy. It's built up. The fairground itself, the price has gone up. We were here before and it was $15 a night, I think, for just electric. But the fairgrounds, that price has gone up to $35 a night, whether you just have water or just have electric. You have water, electric, you have a 30 or 50 amp site, it doesn't matter. It's $35 a night. You do get a free dump with that. But
And if you're not staying here, the dump is $15.
and so we're very thankful that it's here, and it's still cheaper than other options. But we'd made a video about the fairgrounds a couple of years ago, and we just want to update that info for you. Now,
We did go to the church, the one that we're working with on the mission part of the trip, and downloaded books there, and they have grown faster than they anticipated. They're bulging at the seams, and it is a tiny church.
but it is so amazing, because when we were here 3 years ago, that church had a handful of people. And so it's awesome to see that they have grown so much that they've outgrown their current facility and are looking for somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So, when we leave Longmont, we are not sure where we're going to be. Probably somewhere around. We're heading toward Gunnison, so Black Canyon of the Gunnison, something like that in that area, and we will let you know when we get there. But the rest of our time here, I think, is pretty much going to be the mission part of it, and so we'll catch you up after that. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.